control. Got the life and they losing fold. I stay 100, I keep it homegrown. I live for the applause, and all the people know. I bring the swag like nobody can. Don't mean to brag, what about it, yeah. I bring the swag like nobody can. It's in the bag, man, I got it, yeah. I got it. Built it from the bottom, ayy. About to be up in your face. Putting proof is in the chase. Put in work, the paper pays. On the up and I'm on the road. You beneath and you cutting cold. Hyper driving, no cruise control. Got the life and they losing fold. I stay 100, I keep it homegrown. I live for the applause, and all the people know. I bring the swag like nobody can. Don't mean to brag, what about it, yeah. I bring the swag like nobody can. It's in the bag, man, I got it, yeah. I bring the swag like nobody can. Don't mean to brag, what about it, yeah. I bring the swag like nobody can. It's in the
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to A Second Chance. I'm one half of your host, Philip Jones, kidney transplant recipient.
And I'm Tafaro Cook, two-time kidney transplant recipient and founder of Kidney Care Coaches, where we coach people with stage 3 to stage 5 kidney disease. If you or you know someone who has kidney disease challenges and needs to be coached with their disease, hit us up at kidneycarecoaches.com.
Again, welcome back to A Second Chance. We have an awesome and dynamic show for you today with Darren, the TikTok warrior. Darren, how you doing today?
Hi guys, I'm good, thanks. How are you? How are you doing? How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. So everybody kind of knows us watching how we kind of do this show. So we're gonna go straight into your story, and like I said, we'll come back and ask you some questions after the fact. So the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you guys. First of all, thanks for inviting me to come and speak today. It's a privilege and it's an honour to share my story on different platforms. So, as the gentleman have said, my name is Darren. My alter ego is TTK Warrior, TikTok Kidney Warrior. I'm a kidney patient myself. I was first diagnosed around 5 years ago. I had some symptoms, some very strange symptoms. Didn't know what was going on with myself. Swelling, headaches, fatigue, cramps, several other things, stomach problems, etc. I put them off. Basically, I didn't. Sometimes you put it down to being on your feet all day and working hard, and just having a bit of a tough time at the moment, and feeling a little unwell, but nothing serious. It carried on for several months, and then I started feeling a little more tired, a little, more swollen up, a little worse. So I thought, I need to do something about this. But until that time came, I unfortunately collapsed at home with having some very strange symptoms like blurry vision and slurred speech. I was taken to hospital, and they assumed that I'd had a mini stroke, a TIA, which wasn't fun at all. Not at my age. I was 36. It wasn't very good at all. And they ran some tests and couldn't really see that I'd had a mini stroke. They couldn't see any damage, inside my brain after a CT scan and an MRI scan. But what they could see was extremely high cholesterol levels and extremely high blood pressure and a very abnormal ECG. It was very unusual, to be fair. It was very unusual. I didn't really know what was going on. I was very baffled by everything, confused. There was several conversations going on between doctors after a period of time. And there was a junior doctor present, and he asked the senior doctors, have they tested my urine? And they looked at him strange and asked why. And the junior doctor said, don't you think it could be a problem with his kidneys? And one of the senior doctors said, I don't think so. It doesn't seem that way. It's probably his heart, or, to do with blood pressure and everything. But the junior doctor was insistent. He said, no, I think we could just test his urine. We'll have a look. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. And it's, nothing ventured, nothing gained, as they say. Let's try and see. If there's nothing there, then, we can eliminate that and carry on with something else. So yeah, they tested my urine, and they saw that I had massive amounts of protein. in my urine, which is known as proteinuria, as many people know, and nephrotic syndrome, which is synonymous with kidney disease, especially latter stages. So they discovered there that I had proteinuria and nephrotic syndrome, and after a little bit more waiting, down the months and more tests and everything else, I had a kidney biopsy, and it was discovered that I had stage 4 kidney disease with nephrotic syndrome, and they had called it focal segmental glomerulosclerosis, which is a relatively rare kidney disease condition. I think there are around 9,000 people in the UK with it out of the 3 million kidney disease patients. It was quite rare, but they knew how to treat it. And after diagnosis, it was unusual. It's very strange. You don't even know how to take it. When you hear kidneys, you hear of transplant, you hear of dialysis, and that is pretty much it. There's nothing else. Some people, it's completely alien to some people. Unfortunately, it's not known. I was baffled. I had several consultations with my specialist and asked questions. I read up about it online. I had a look at things. I learned. I educated myself, and I spoke of things which concerned me. With my blood pressure, how have I got it? My cholesterol levels are obviously high. What can I do to maintain my health, basically? So I started learning, reading, educating myself, just getting better at picking apart the things that are wrong with me, basically. And I spoke to several people in the waiting room as I was, doing just waiting for my appointment to start. And they were generally, we were all in the same boat. We were all kidney patients. But it struck me how different people were. There were people who were a lot older than me. There were people a lot younger than me. I mean, I was in my 30s, which is, is still quite young to be with a chronic condition. And there was a girl there. She was probably 14 or 15, I think, at the time. And I was thinking, this is a very, very young age. This is where the education comes in. You realise that people of all ages can get kidney disease. And it makes no difference if you're healthy. It makes no difference if you're fit. It makes no difference if you're white or you're black or you're Chinese or Mexican or you're from Australia or India or Canada. It makes no difference. It doesn't discriminate. You can get kidney disease. Anyone can get it. Anyone can get it at any age. So once TikTok started becoming big, I started, just making videos showing other people what I was going through on a daily basis with symptoms, and everything in my daily life with medication and exercise and diet, and just looking after myself, my general well-being. Some foods I've been told to restrict, other foods I was told which are pretty good to help with the condition, etc. And my strict regime of things, like one of the key elements, water. It is earlier middle stages, water is vital. I know for later stages, water is it's restricted, especially on dialysis and everything else. But early stages, water is vital. So yeah, all that sort of stuff. Everything on my TikTok page. Even after the first video, things were going quite well. And many viewers on the videos. A lot of followers coming in. People speaking of their experiences as well. And a community, and literally people from all around the world. Not just from my corner, everywhere. A lot of American followers, Canadians, South Americans, South Africans, people from Ireland, people from the UK, people from Africa, Philippines. They're from everywhere, and everyone is in the same boat. With people with kidney disease. And this has been going on now for maybe a year and a half that I've been on TikTok for, and I got to be honest, it's been exceptionally good to me. I've had extremely good figures on TikTok. I've had a lot of people. The community has grown so much. It's really good. The platform to help people. Close to 85,000 followers, which is mind blowing. Literally is 55 million views, I think, in total across my account. And many people helped. Many people, messages from all sorts of people saying they've seen my videos and they were worried about their symptoms, and they've, you know, gone to see their doctor and they've had a diagnosis of kidney disease. You know, it's helpful to other people. It's been amazing. You know, the response. It's just been incredible. It really has. I just can't fathom it out sometimes. It's so big. You know, just unbelievable. I've had so much, you know, interaction from, you know, so many people. It's been incredible, you know. And the journey itself has been, you know, for myself to start with, has been difficult, you know. And as I've got on and gone further into it and started getting, you know, more information and, you know, looking after myself better, I've gone from stage 4 back to stage 3 with, you know, having looked after myself with a nephrotic syndrome. This week, there was literally no protein in my urine, which is the first time in the 5 years pretty much since I was diagnosed with kidney disease. This week, there's literally been no protein in my urine, which is exceptionally good news. I've really have had some great support over the years. I'm going to bring my partner, Lucinda, in now for a little chat. This lady's been by my side for a number of months with as my support network. You know, she's obviously set up her own TikTok account. This is where you guys are formally introduced, I do believe. You saw Lucinda's TikTok account. Just say a couple of words, please.
Yeah, well, Darren and I have been together just under a year, really, and when I found out that he had kidney disease, I did all the research I could, read up on it, and just try to understand things, and just be there to look after him when he's not feeling too good.
That's it, basically. I mean, everyone needs a good support network.
Yes.
It helps with the, you know, the healing process and the understanding, and, you know, just getting by. You know, the support network for me has been vital in, you know, my not recovery, because I'm always going to have kidney disease like everyone else does, but, you know, everything it's helped. It's helped greatly for me, you know, to have someone there to hold my hand and someone there to be there in appointments, and, you know, to make sure I'm eating the right foods, to make sure I'm doing my exercise, and just basically looking after me. I can't complain. I mean, the lady has been absolutely incredible as my support network, and, you know, I'd like to thank you very much. You know, in the public eye, thank you so much. You've really, you know, I really appreciate everything you've done for me. Thank you so much, lady. So you know, this is my support network. We've also just recently purchased a little dog as well, who's helping us with our morning walks. We you know, as part of our exercise routines now is taking the dog for a walk. We're looking at doing around 50,000 to 100,000 steps every week, just to help with, you know, A, mental health, and B, our fitness. We found it to be quite good so far. We've both lost a couple of pounds in the last couple of weeks, and we're doing quite well with the walking. At one day, a couple of weeks back, we did around a 9-mile hike on one afternoon. It was quite physical, but that was good. And it's all helping, you know. It's all good for your brain, the mental health side, and it's good for the physical side as well, of keeping ourselves fit and keeping ourselves, you know, our blood pressure reduced and everything else. So, you know, that's the other part. What I would like to say is, you know, TikTok has really given me a platform to help people. It's probably in the public eye, especially within, you know, kidney disease patients. And I really enjoy helping other people, you know, to get a diagnosis or to help them understand something to do with kidney disease, and, you know, that type of thing. It's been incredible for me. It's been a difficult journey, but it's been very, very well worth it, is what I'll say. Very well worth it. So, guys, I'd like to hand back over to you if you'd like to ask some questions, like Lucinda and myself.
Yeah, man. Awesome story. Hello, Lucinda. How are you?
Good, thank you.
So my first question, you know, you touched on being your support network. What has being on TikTok, or how has being on TikTok and other platforms earned you extended amount of support from people that's been on social media?
A lot of people that don't understand the condition, they don't understand the feeling of a kidney patient, they don't understand what we go through. To share that with people who are non-understanding and not knowing of what we go through has been huge. there's a lot of people out there who are very empathetic and sympathetic towards people who have a condition, and who are ill. And that, to start with, it's nice to educate someone not in that position, and they come back and share their feedback with you on what they can see from the outside. That, to start with, as part of the support network, has been big for myself. But to learn from other people as well who are much more experienced dealing with kidney disease is another part of it. I've got a very good friend in Canada, Ranjiv. He's a transplant recipient himself, and he's very experienced. He's had kidney disease for many years, and we speak quite frequently on the telephone and just through text and stuff. And he gives a lot of advice, and things like that. They literally help a lot to myself, and I can pass that information and the message on to other people as well, which is really good. So
Awesome, awesome. So my next question, I'll let Ms. Cook ask you some questions. With what you were diagnosed with, it sounds like, because it sounds like you did the numbers for the UK. Is it more of a rare condition? I mean, a known condition in the UK than in the US?
there are people in the US with FSGS. I'm just not certain of the numbers there. I know it's relatively rare here, but I think there are probably a few million around the world with the same condition as I have. I'm not entirely certain of that, but as I say, it is quite rare, but it's treatable in much the same way as all the others. With on the cause of it, which was, for me, was high blood pressure, which was in my family. So it was what caused my kidney disease, and it was exactly that. I think the FSGS, I think it means that the filters in the kidneys are scarred. I think that's what it is. So that's that's which with the protein leak, it all ties in. So for me, it was controlling the blood pressure. So so I think that that's I think it's rare. I think it is rare generally, but I'm not certain of the figures in the US as opposed to the UK. Not quite certain.
Yeah, that's an awesome story, man. That's what I have, FSGS, focal-schematic glomerulonephritis. So same situation. For the audience out there and everything, I'm amazed that you said you was at stage 4 and now you're at stage 3. That's phenomenal. Can you tell us some of the things you did to alleviate the protein in the urine? Because that's one of the biggest problems that we see across the board when people start leaking protein and things. So can you tell us a couple of things that you did?
Yes, absolutely. The biggest thing was giving up cigarettes. That was the biggest thing. I was a smoker for many years, and that was one of the first things I actually did upon diagnosis. It wasn't easy, and if I'm honest, after nearly 6 years, I still crave a cigarette occasionally. Lucinda can tell you all about that. I still say I could do with a cigarette sometimes when I'm having a bit of a tough day. But that, for me, that was the main thing, was giving up cigarettes to start with, and then starting to exercise more and look after myself generally, eating better. I was a kind of guy who'd like to take away. I like a bit of pizza or some Chinese food. It's not good. So now I'm cooking healthy at home all the time. Fresh ingredients, just the right ingredients as well. So there's not much red meat. We tend to eat red meat once a week, and that's it. We stick to chicken and fish, and well, Lucinda doesn't really like fish, but I try to eat it as often as I can. And the vegetables, and then fresh fruit. 5 a day, as they say. That's exactly what we've been trying to do. So that was how I've basically cleared mine off. It took a few years, but it's been well worth it, to be honest, because I feel a lot better than what I did 5 or 6 years back.
That's awesome, man. Do you take any blood pressure medications? Because what you said, is the same things I do. I'm 15 years out as far as transplants concerned, and I fast. My window is from 11 in the morning to 7 o'clock at night, and then I don't eat any more food. I watch that, and I cut out a lot of red meat also. I used to be a big weightlifter, a bodybuilder. I trained bodybuilders back in the day. So even with my workouts, I don't go as heavy as I used to, because the creatinine can leave the residual of that, also can keep that high. So, do you take any over-the-counter blood pressure medicine?
I do, yes. I'm on 3 tablets on a daily basis. I take what is known as Ramapril, doxycycline, and amlodipine as well, which are 3 a day. But my blood pressure levels are near in normal, which is really good
Good.
because they were moderately high without medication to start with. Even from the age of around 20 to 30, I think they were getting higher as well. So it was something I needed to keep on top of because I knew it was in my family. My dad passed away at the age of 48 from a heart attack, and his father had a heart attack before him as well. So we knew it was in the family. It was pig-headedness on my part, thinking, right, they won't be yet, I won't have to start looking yet. But all of a sudden, then it just catches up with you, it's there, straight in your face. And, it causes problems straight away. And obviously, I got kidney disease and potentially had a mini stroke, which, in your mid-30s is not really good at all. So it's been difficult. It really has. But I'm here, I'm still smiling, I'm still going, I'm still fighting. And that's what it's all about. I'm here to educate and help people now, exactly like you guys do. So
Right. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's good to hear, man. I'm so happy that TikTok and people are, gravitating towards you because they see the benefits that you're giving, and that's awesome. I love that you changed it to stage 3 because the challenges we see in America is with our westernized system as far as medical, they consider once you have kidney disease, it goes straight to dialysis, and you're debunking that. You're like, no, it doesn't have to. If you watch your nutrition, and I believe nutrition is the base of everything, and that goes across the board with all diseases. 80% of it is all nutrition. So if you watch your nutrition for a period of time, you will start to see the benefits of what goes on and things like that. So that's really, really important that you do that. Also, even smoking, like you said, I used to every now and then I was like a smoker. I would smoke cigars once every 2 months, but I kind of even gave that up also. But I love the fact that you're down at stage 3 with no protein. That probably debunks a lot of doctors. They're probably like, wow, how do you do that? Because again, people always talk about it can only go one way, and that's the dialysis and kidney transplant. Had I known before, I got sick, all these things, all the information is coming out now, but I guess it takes time and everything.
it does, yeah. I mean, it's taken 5 years to get from that position to this position, but I'm incredibly proud of the hard work I put in, to be honest, with looking after myself. I mean, in total, I've lost a lot of weight as well. We use pounds and stone and pounds here, isn't it? Yeah. We don't use kilos, so I was around close to 14 stone, and now I'm 12 stone 5 or 12 stone 6, which is just under 12.5 stone. So I mean, I've lost 1.5 stone in weight, which I'm not certain how many kilos that is, but I feel better for it, and I've worked hard to keep the weight off. So, and without the smoking as well, when they say you give up cigarettes, you tend to eat a lot. And I did, initially, I did eat a lot. I was eating a lot of, candy, as you call it, and I was drinking soda. And that's what you do when you give up cigarettes. You crave something, don't you? You crave it, and I was craving sweet things. And it was difficult. That first 6 months was so tough. My numbers went up for the first 6 months, but I knew if I could break that habit, and then once that's done, I could stop that and then, work on everything else. And smoking was the hardest thing to break. I really will be honest, it was difficult. I smoked for 24 years, I think. I started smoking when I was about 12, which was very much illegal in the UK. You needed to be 16 at the time to buy cigarettes, and now it's 18. But it was difficult to break. Once that's gone, it's been so much easier for me to, break down the barriers of nutrition and exercise. That's helped me so much after cigarettes, So I'm there and I've beaten it, and I'm proud of myself because giving up smoking is very difficult. It really is.
Right. It is.
All right. Well, we're gonna go to a quick commercial real quick, and then we'll come back and ask Darren some more questions. Welcome back to a second chance. We're here with Darren the TikTok Warrior. So my first question coming back from a commercial is, um, do you think you should have made a different choice, as in going to see a doctor or physician, when you first started noticing those signs and symptoms that you were dealing with?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think it was key, the speed of seeing your physician, or as soon as you start feeling symptoms, because I think the earlier you catch things, the easier it is, or it can be to treat them. Not even cure it, obviously, but it potentially I could have been seen and I could have been stage 1 or 2, as opposed to stage 3 or 4. And of course, I've helped myself, but some people don't have the means to help themselves. So my advice is to see a physician as soon as you start feeling any symptoms or you start feeling unwell. It should have been alleviated a lot quicker on my part. I should have gone and not put it down to working hard. Just when you know your body's not feeling right, go and see a doctor straight away, basically.
Awesome.
I think
Um,
that's so true. I just want to make a statement about that. I think that's so true. But what happens as men, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So you just like, because I was playing college football when I first got sick, and I had some symptoms. But again, at the age I was 18 years old at the time, I just didn't understand it, and I didn't even know that it could be a kidney problem. And you just, as men, sometimes we just blow it off and keep on grinding through what we're doing as far as work, life, and we keep on going. Opposed to some ladies, they go to the doctor more frequent than men, and they go, okay, I got to go to the doctor. And they're more familiar with that episode of going to the doctor. So, we say that in hindsight, like, yeah, go to the doctor as soon as something happens. But a lot of times, again, men, you just don't know. You might have, and with kidney disease, is so silent. You don't even recognize the challenges. You might have headache here. You might see a little swelling, and you can say, "Oh, that's because I'm eating a lot of pizza, or I'm drinking some beer, or something like that." So it's still a fine line. Yeah, we say, yeah, go to the doctor, but you just don't know sometimes.
No, of course, but I mean, when you're feeling unwell, and when something's completely out of sync. That's obviously if you're feeling just a little unwell, but if you're feeling these sort of symptoms for a prolonged period of time, even for a week or two, when it's more than normal, then obviously that's when I'd say go and see a doctor then, as opposed to oh, my knee hurts and I'll go now. It's not that. It's not as simple as that, is it? It's knowing your own body is there and knowing what you can deal with and your limits, and just if it's a prolonged period of time, like a week or 2 weeks, and you think, okay, this isn't right, maybe now I need to see the doctor. That's probably that's fair enough. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Absolutely.
And I understand where you're coming from too, and I agree with what you're saying as far as if you do see these prolonged symptoms, don't just waver them off like it's nothing. Something is going on, and I agree with you, Darren, on that. Go ahead, Phil.
well, this is my last question. I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Cook, and I have one more he finishes. But what made you come up with your alter ego TikTok warrior?
Um, TikTok kidney warrior. It's just because it was on TikTok, and I'm a kidney warrior, and it's just simple as that. It required no explanation from someone on the outside looking in. Being a kidney warrior who raises that awareness on TikTok. Simple as that. It's easy and catchy, isn't it? I wanted people to remember it. I've got kidney disease. Who do I go and see? Oh, TikTok kidney warrior. Simple. It's just something that sticks in the mind, and is relatively easy. TTK warrior. It's very simple and very easy to remember. Simple as that.
I like it a lot. I think it's very catchy, and one thing I do like what you're doing, Darren, is hearing it from the horse's mouth. I respect the doctors and what they say, but anybody going through it, that's the person I kind of want to listen to. I'm just keeping it real because that person has that first-hand knowledge. They can tell you exactly what's going on, opposed to somebody, looking at some hands and saying, well, this could happen, that could happen, this. No, someone like Darren is telling people firsthand, hey, this is what's going on with my phosphorus high and I'm itching real bad. We've all, I've had those same symptoms, and I just wanted to say I follow you now because once I seen it, I was like, oh, I love what this brother's doing, man. This is awesome. So I love what you do and everything. And another question I have for you is, and this is going on to some of the things that you do, to keep your health good. Because again, I'm kind of blown away that you told me, you have no protein in your urine. You don't know how big that really is. I coach a lot of people, and very rarely do I hear that statement like, hey, we have no protein in the urine. I look at labs and things like that when I coach people. And that's pretty remarkable, Darren. I have to give you a lot of credit, you and your significant other, her care giving you and keeping you guys going to do that. That's big, man. And people just don't see that. So I just want to commend you for no protein in here. Man, that's awesome. That means you're really, really reversing your kidney disease to the point where you might be in stage 1 or 2 and just keep on what you're doing and live a healthy life throughout, and that's what we hope everybody can do. And that's pretty amazing, man.
Yeah, my doctor actually shook my hand in clinic on Wednesday after my appointment, and he said, I can see the progress you've made, and I know most of it is down to you. I guess it could just be luck, I might be one of those lucky people who manages to do what I've done. But I've spoken to maybe 2 or 3 other people in the massive community of people I speak to, and they have had what I've had. It is rare. It is rare. It's unusual, but it happens. And I mean, for people who are able to help themselves, my advice is help yourself. Really do. If you can help yourself, if you can change something in your lifestyle which can help you or make you feel a little better, even if it's just a little better, as opposed to, not urinating out protein, which is big, as you say, it is big. But any small, significant change you can make to yourself, to your well-being, just take it with both hands. Anything you can get, grab it and pull it towards you. Simple as that. That's what I'd like to say to anybody, for a message of hope. There is hope out there for some people. Look after yourself and take that opportunity and drag it towards you with both hands.
I agree, man. I totally agree. Do you take any natural supplements or anything like that herbs or anything like that?
No, nothing at all.
Okay.
I was told not to take any supplements. My doctor's a bit skeptical. He says sometimes they can help. However, there can be things inside supplements which may not, or they may trigger something else within your body. The kidneys are very delicate, and we all know things like potassium and phosphates can harm, and excess amounts of anything. So he said not to. He said if you're having any problems with a certain food or a certain thing, come and see me and we can work on measures and everything else. Just in case we're not restricting. We're just trying to basically give my body the best nutrition we can get.
Right, that's perfect. That's perfect, man. So, do you recommend, like, one thing I tell people all the time on a holistic process is getting good, adequate sleep. That is so important, and that's some things that we don't pay attention to. And some of the clients I work with, and they're telling, man, I'm getting 3 hours, 4 hours. I'm like, you really, really have to recover, because when you recover, what's your thoughts on that? Just tell me about, what's your thoughts on that?
I totally agree with you. I think a good night's sleep is a good idea. That's all I say. A good night's sleep is a good idea. 8 hours sleep, I try to aim for myself. I like to be well rested. Sometimes I won't be afraid to admit this, that sometimes when you have a busy day, there's nothing wrong with taking a little power snooze as well in the afternoon. There's nothing wrong with it. It perks you up in the afternoon. It gives you that little bit of extra energy. That's my opinion. And 8 hours, absolutely. A good night's rest is a good idea.
Right. I think and it's so overlooked because, now you guys are a lot younger than I am. I'm an old man. But, a lot of times the younger guys are, still want to go to the clubs and party and have a good time and everything. And when I was young, I used to do that too. But you have to get that rest. I think that is so important. And what's your recommendation on water? Like, how much water do you drink daily?
My bladder is really small, unfortunately. However, my advice is to drink as much as you can get without, inconveniencing yourself by going to the bathroom every 5 minutes. So So more advice from my doctor again. His words were, drink enough water so whenever you go to the toilet, your urine it looks like straw, and then you know you're perfectly hydrated. My doctor's awesome. He really is. He's a really good guy. A lot of time for him. A lot of he's given me good advice. And things like this. I mean, urine output. It's a big thing for from my doctor. He says that's how you know when things are starting to turn bad is when it goes for me when you're in the morning when it's like it's all bubbling up. He said then you know you got a problem. He said if you don't have that form, you can run home. That's what his words are. If you've got that form, if you don't have that form, you can run home. That's what he says. And it's silly rhymes, but they motivate you and it's stick in your head. So.
And Darren, this is one thing I can say, and you correct me if I'm wrong on this. Once you become the TikTok kidney warrior, just like I call myself, Coach Cook, the advocate, you take on a persona that you hold yourself accountable as an expert, and you start doing things right because then you have people following what you're doing also. Would you kind of say that can happen? What's your thoughts on it?
It does happen because you put a lot of time and effort into learning and educating yourself on this. You're not literally like as knowledgeable as a doctor, but you have that first-hand experience of what you're going through, and it's vital to pass it on to other people. So yeah, you do change your persona big time. You do. You become like an educator or a coach, as you call yourself. Myself, I see myself as a peer mentor for other people to help them. And I'm talking a lot now. We're going to do some training with a local charity to help newly diagnosed kidney patients like Linda and myself. We're going to be doing that. We've got some training coming up next month, and we're going to help newly diagnosed kidney patients on how to deal with sort of things. From the outside, which will be Lucinda's part, and on the inside, which will be my part. I think it's great. I think it's really good. It's really, I don't know, with the knowledge I've learned and what I've done for myself, I'm going to pass it on to other people.
Yes, that's awesome, man. Well, I took up enough of you guys' time. It was wonderful speaking with you, man. I follow you now, and you will see me liking your pages and things like that. And thank you for the interview. I really, really appreciate all you do, and both you guys keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's really nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you as well.
So my last question for you is, what do you say to the individual that just got diagnosed yesterday or a week ago or a month ago that is now having to take on the battle of fighting kidney disease? What do you say to that person to kind of I won't necessarily put their mind at ease, because I don't think your mind can get to ease at all really dealing with this situation, but how do you put a little light in their tunnel after finding out that information?
My first thing to say would never lose hope. Sometimes it's difficult. The tunnel doesn't seem like it's got a light at the end, but there are stories out there of huge success. Helping yourself and help not just help yourself, you can help other people by doing what you're doing. It's not an easy journey, but it comes with rewards. Looking after yourself and working very hard. There's a lot of people out there to help you. There are doctors and specialists, nurses, and kidney patients who've been through the mill and back, and they know what they're talking about. Take what you can from them, listen and learn, and potentially you can help yourself in a great way. Like I have myself, I've done well, and it's from good advice, and it's from learning, and it's from educating myself, and wanting and fighting and wanting to get better. That's exactly what it's from. So never lose hope, keep strong, and just keep smiling, because sometimes it really helps.
Awesome. So again, thank you, Darren, for joining us today. Thank you, Lucinda, for helping set this up. We definitely appreciate you both. We'll be back here on the Second Chance next Sunday, 5:00 p.m. Pacific time, p.m. Eastern time. You all have a wonderful start of your week and ending of your week at the end of next week. We'll see you all next weekend.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. I thought our camera had frozen and I was looking at a long one. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate your time. It's been an honour to speak to you tonight. Thank you so much for having us both on your show. Good luck with future episodes as well. We'll be sure to tune in. Have a lovely weekend, rest of your weekend, and have a good week as well, guys. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
And we thank you both too. Also, man,
Thank
that was
you. Thank you.
awesome meeting both you guys and everything. You guys have a wonderful week. Thank you.